Hey y'all, what's up? It's Charlene Baker, CEO and founder of Slay Your Content. And really quick in this video, I'm actually very soon I'll create like a whole PowerPoint presentation, the whole works. But really quick, I wanted to just share the 5 key pieces that you want to have working for you in your content plan in order to generate 6+ figures this year in 2024. This is the strategy that I've personally used as well as what I share with my clients in order to generate real revenue when it comes to organic content, right? And so if you haven't finalized your 2024 content strategy, no worries, there is still time for you to build a plan that aligns with your business goals, that supports your revenue goals as well, and then exudes you and showcases you as the expert that you are. So like I said, I'm gonna do this really fast, but a whole PowerPoint presentation is coming soon. And so really quickly before I actually jump into the meat of the content, this is for someone who is already making high 5 figures in their business currently, or you're at the cusp of 6 figures, or you're looking to create a plan on how you can even accelerate your revenue even more if you're already in that 6-figure mark. You have a small team already. Maybe it's you and a virtual assistant, a VA, or you have a couple of contractors that you outsource some of your marketing to. So this strategy that I'm about to outline for you is someone who does have a small team where you're not doing all the work yourself. And then, of course, this is for someone who wants to focus on their core genius and their superpower, right? And so here we go. All right, so there are 5 key pieces that you want in a content plan that's going to position you for 6 figures. The first one is long-form content. So having a piece of long-form content that's working for you, whether it's in the form of a blog, a YouTube training video like this, a webinar, or a podcast, and it's something that you're creating weekly. The beauty about a long-form piece of content is that it really showcases your expertise and people immediately see you as the expert. You are offering amazing free value to your audience. You're not giving away the farm, but you are sharing some tips on how they can gain quick wins with your free stuff, because the majority of people, in fact, I think it said that, people will look at 13 pieces of your content before they actually hop on a sales call with you or considering purchasing from you. And so you having 13 pieces of content out there, particularly if a few of those are long form, can really just cement your credibility in their minds. And then long form also fuels your content strategy, right? You have a piece of content now that you can repurpose, that you can slice and divvy up into multiple forms, whether that's, sharing it out with a newsletter, which is coming up next, whether that's, repurposing it or redistributing it rather on like a site like Medium, LinkedIn, so many different things that you can do. You can even chop those. If you have like subheadings in your blog post, each of those subheadings can actually serve as many as social media posts, but it will be like a long form social media post, right? So there's so many things that you can do with one long form piece of content to fuel your entire content strategy. So long form content is your first piece that you want to have working for you weekly. And then secondly, your weekly newsletter. Now, this can be a newsletter or a broadcast. So the difference is that a newsletter typically has like multiple sections where you might be showcasing or highlighting a client. You might have a tips and tricks section. You might have a section where you're promoting a course. You might have a section where you're sharing inspiring or empowering information for your audience. So it's an email, but it's broken up into different sections, and it also has multiple call to actions. Whereas a broadcast, it has more of a singular focus, right? You have that one call to action. You might have it sprinkled a few times throughout that broadcast, but your goal is to get them to take that one action. Right. So, but either one is fine, right? The key is that it shows up in your subscribers' inbox weekly. The beauty about you nurturing your email list is that these people have opted to have invited you to show up in their inboxes, right? So they're looking to hear from you. Email is still said to be one of the best mediums that generates a high ROI, a high return on investment, right? And so here is where you're building those relationships. People are getting to know you, and the idea is that you want to have a list of engaged subscribers where you are promoting your services and your products to, right? And so showing up every week in their newsletter will better position you for that. And then the third piece of content, of course, you want to have working for you is a social media platform, right? We all know that social media is going to pop up here. It's where you build community. It's where people really get to know, like, and trust you. I recommend picking 1 to 2 and get really good at those platforms, showing up there, having a presence. Not to say that you can't be on all the platforms, right? But really you want to focus on the 1 or 2 where your audience is showing up most. So you can just really strategize and kind of like stake your flag there. And then as you get momentum going and as you have a team that can do the things for you, then you can, of course, expand and go into those other platforms. And again, I mentioned this in the long form piece. You can take those long form pieces of content, whether it's a podcast, blog, and social media is a great avenue to share those pieces and slice them up. Now, one thing I do want to point out when it comes to marketing on different social media platforms is that you don't want to have the same message that shows up the same way on all those platforms, because every social media channel has a different vibe or a different culture. You're kind of expected to show up a little differently, right? So I know that people will post the same thing on Instagram as they post on Facebook, but those are still 2 different platforms, and there's 2 different vibes, right? So you really want to tailor that piece of content to fit that social platform culture per se, so that you're really speaking to that audience and how they expect you to show up there. So that's the third thing. The fourth is collaboration, right? This is where the marvelous happens. This is where you partner with someone else who has your audience, and you two get together and you make marvelous things happen, right? This can be in the form of guest blogging, podcast guests, webinar co-hosts, and you want to be sure that you collaborate strategically, right? And when I mean strategically, their audience are people that you are aiming to market to as well, right? And so you don't just want to make any collaboration. It has to be purposeful, and you want it to be a win-win, right? And so maybe this is a situation where, you show up in front of their audience, you're given amazing credibility, and then this is your opportunity to generate leads, right? To get, to borrow someone else's audience and get them into your funnel. It doesn't have to be a paid situation. It can be like an affiliate. Maybe, if you get in front of their audience and their audience purchase your product, you give 20% or whatever that looks like to the person you're collaborating with, right? I just recommend always having something in written, like a contract or a written agreement, so each party knows exactly what is what. But collaborations can accelerate you faster because you're leveraging other people's audiences. But again, you're being strategic about it, and you are showing up with some real value, right? You're not just coming with junk or something that they can simply Google, right? You're bringing the fire, and people will be excited to collaborate with you. And then finally is community, right? Getting involved in a community where you can, rub arms and learn and grow from others. That's also entrepreneurs. Like, entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey. And so having a community that supports you is super amazing. But the beauty about that and how it pertains to 6-figure growth is that I have gotten a lot of high paying clients from these communities, such as masterminds, right? I've been able to, gain a lot of clients just from showing up in these places. And so I encourage you to find a community that's an amazing fit for you. Paid communities, I would say, are better because you are making an investment, so you're going to show up a little differently, and then that community is also serious about you because they're making an investment as well, right? So I recommend a paid community such as a mastermind, a Chamber of Commerce. I think Chamber of Commerce can be free, but maybe you can have a paid membership. Even business councils, right? So just finding a place where you, again, can kind of state your flag in. This is where you're going to show up as the amazing leader that you are, and you're also going to expect to be poured into as well, and have people that you can talk to, kind of iron out problems or kinks, or even just for someone to be a sounding board where you can bounce ideas off of. Like, communities can be super powerful if you show up and leverage them in a way where it's a win-win, right? Because we always want to create win-win situations. But that's it, y'all, fam. Those are the 5 key pieces that you want to have working in your content plan in order to generate, to get to your next revenue milestone. I have a newsletter. It's a weekly Slay Your Content newsletter, which I would love for. I would love the opportunity to show up in your inbox every single week. So you can, if you click on the link in the description box, or simply go to slayyourcontent.com and click on interactive content calendar. There I will send you a calendar where you can dump all of this into, right, plan it out and be able to see your entire month at a glance. It's a content calendar template, and I also share videos on how you can get the most out of that calendar. So excited to see what you do. Thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. Cheers. Have an amazing day.